right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Lewis Christophersen. How you doing, man?
Yeah, cool. Thanks very much. I'm good to be here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Now, Lewis, you got a fight coming up, man. Talk to us a little bit about that fight.
Yep. So I'm on a total 85. It's 3 weeks away from me now. So been training very hard for this fight. It's probably my toughest one yet. I'm a Perth boy myself, and he's from South Australia. I'm not sure, maybe Queensland or Sydney or something like that. So it's good to get a first international opponent, and it's gonna be a good fight.
Now, with you being on the amateur scene, I'm sure there's probably not a ton of like film out there on these guys. How do you typically go in there
Yeah.
in a training camp to prepare for your upcoming opponents?
Yeah, so I get whatever information I can. Obviously, like with each fight goes on, kind of like more information comes about these people, and more film comes out. So I'm just kind of playing it by hand and seeing what I can grab. I know this dude's more of a taller person, so this camp has been adjusted to that. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Now, you mentioned before in another interview that you won 6 fights in the amateur scene before you go pro. With that being said, with
Yep.
those 6 fights, does it matter the results, or is it just going to be 6 fights no matter what, and then you're going to try to hit the pro scene then?
Yes, I really don't mind about the results too much. Like it's just amateur. Like it is what it is. Like maybe I win some or lose some, but obviously I'm gonna go in there trying to win. But just amateur. Like I don't care about it too much. But yeah, man. As you said, 6 fights, get it in, roll them through, and then turn pro. And that's really where I'm gonna, you know, strive to really dig deep in those fights and get some hard fights, under my belt, and eventually get that eternal bantamweight status champion.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're looking forward to that, man. And on
Yeah.
top of that, you're only 18 years old. And with that being said, what age do you think you're looking to try to go pro? Because you're just going to be like your
Yep.
second fight now this year. I mean, what age do you think you're going
Yep.
to be turning pro?
Yeah, so this is gonna be my third fight. Ideally next year, if I can roll the fights through, if I can maybe get on the August card this year, maybe another one late this year. What's that? Maybe 4 or 5. And yeah, so ideally late next year or mid to late next year would be ideal.
Very nice. Now, your brother trains as well too. What's it like training with your brother as well?
Yeah, it's cool. Obviously both share the same interests and stuff like that. Um, Nice to, have someone to go out to the gym with. Yeah, he's a good role.
Yeah, yeah, and 100%. That's definitely pretty cool, man. And you were doing a little bit of martial arts as a kid, and then you're also doing
Yep,
the BJJ as well. With that
yep.
being said, man, what's maybe something that made you fall in love with martial arts?
Yeah, so I mean, ever since I stepped in the door and stuff, like me and like pretty much my whole family has been introduced and surrounded by the gym. So ever since I've been there, I've just kind of fell in love with it straight away. Like my goals changed as I um got older and stuff. Like when I first started and I did like the kids like uh what I call like the belt system kind of thing. Like I want to be like a millionth degree black belt and all that stuff. I'm gonna be like this huge black belt. Then my goals changed to now I want to become a UFC fighter. So yeah, as I started training more, I realized I want to actually take this into competition, and then yeah, my goals changed from there.
Very nice, very nice. Now, with you training in BJJ, what do you think is maybe the hardest part about jujitsu?
Yeah, so obviously, like as you first start, like just getting like ragdolled by like I don't know, maybe someone smaller or like you're like, oh, I could take this dude just with strength or whatever, but then you realize it actually takes a bit of technique, and once you get past that first like initial stage of like some people talk about you a lot of people quit when they get to blue belt because that's just kind of like how it goes sometimes, but once you push past that stage and actually start developing and learning, um, I found for a love for it as well, and it's part of MMA. So gotta do what you gotta do.
Now, like you mentioned too, because I've heard that before too, with like people wanting to quit at blue belt. Why is that? And
Yeah,
what do you have to do to maybe get to your blue belt?
yeah. So um, I started as a kid, like going through like all the grey white belts and everything. I'm not sure if the system's same with over you guys over there, but yeah, I started going through the ranks as a kid, like competing in jiu-jitsu from a young age, and then I eventually got into the adults. When I was 16 or so, I went to the adult system and kind of rose my way through the ranks there as well. So I'm currently a blue belt, but yeah, I mean I enjoy the journey and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna keep on going and see where I end up.
Very nice, very nice. Now, you got a submission in your last win, man. And with that being said, how did it feel to go out there and finish somebody out there in the cage?
Yeah, it was very nice. Obviously, like my first fight was a decision, so it was good to, I feel like there was a few moments in my first fight where I definitely could have put him away or finished him. So it was really good just to, all right, now I'm looking for finishes now. I'm not here to just to play around and get a decision. So it was definitely good to finish the fight early.
Very nice, very nice. Now, with you training, who do you think are some of your best training partners that you're with every single day?
Yeah, okay. So of course you got Steve Erceg. He's great, UFC fighter. Just a good dude to be around. Probably Richard Lockett. He's got a lot of pressure. He's a pro boxer at the moment, with a couple fights coming through. And probably Shannon Staples. He's just another amateur fighter with six or so fights. He's also fighting on the same eternal card as me. And he's got a really nice feint game, and also they're all just good blokes to be around.
Very nice. Now, you were there with Steve Erceg in his corner for his last fight. What was it like to kind of experience that and, see all the bright lights with the UFC and just, that
Yeah,
whole experience in general?
yeah, man, it was very cool to be around. Like, obviously, I visualized myself being there one day, so it was cool to kind of just go through the experience without actually like fighting some of these, badass dudes and stuff. So it's definitely cool to be around him and his journey, and yeah, just do whatever I can to help. Very cool.
Now with you doing that as well, what's maybe some cool like behind the scenes stuff that maybe a fan might not know about that goes into preparing for the fights and being there in the UFC and all that little experience and stuff?
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of behind the scenes that goes on, like all the media stuff and the background kind of things, and like injuries and like the actual like weight cut itself. Like people just see, oh, like Steve-O weighed in 125 pounds, they don't actually see the night before or like the day of or even a week prior of all this water loading and kind of stuff that people do behind the scenes that maybe MMA fans don't really take into consideration as much as they should.
Right. Now, Steve also mentioned that he said that you're better than him at the age that you started at, and early in his career. With that being said, what is after you heard that, what was maybe going through
Yeah.
your head after hearing that advice?
Yeah, man. So obviously, we've both been training for like a pretty young age. Like I've been training since I was 8 or so. So I've just been surrounded by these boys, like definitely makes me better. I was around when he was around training MMA, but I was more of like a little guy, like a younger dude back then. So I don't know what his type of training partners and stuff were, but I've definitely got a good solid team around me to go wherever I need to go, and I'm sure he was definitely still decent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure he definitely was. That's for sure. And
yeah,
another thing I was curious about as well too. I was just talking to Jack Jenkins yesterday in an interview, and he
yep,
just confirmed that he's going to be on that Perth card. Do you think you're going to be there in
yep,
attendance to try to watch that event as well?
yeah, man. I'd love to be there. Do whatever I can to support the Perth boys. Yeah, man. Do whatever I can to support. Give me a
Very
good
nice, very
good
nice.
card.
Now, I keep seeing it a couple times now. You got a pretty sick tattoo on your arm. Talk to us a little bit about that, man.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so I got Poseidon right here. I'm trying to show on the
Oh,
camera. This is kind of Greek god kind of thing. I thought that was
yeah.
pretty cool. And then I also got shit, how do I show this? I'll stand up for a sec. Um, this sky's the limit
Oh, yeah.
tattoo, with, like the ashes and stuff. So that one's got a little bit of meaning behind it. Just kind of going for whatever goals you got, and sky's the limit. Going for the sky, going for the
Very
stars.
nice.
Sorry, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
So
pretty
from a
sick,
young
man.
age, like yeah, seeing all these dudes in the UFC and stuff, like, and obviously Steve-O getting in there now, like it is a reality, like you can just a random boy from Perth can make it wherever. So definitely gives me motivation, and I can see myself up there in the future for sure.
Yeah, no, and I definitely agree with you, man. You have a lot of potential, and yeah, we're definitely looking forward to your future fights. And another thing too, obviously, with me being from Pennsylvania, I've never been to
Yep.
Australia before, but I hear about it all the time on the internet. Do you happen to see any kangaroos in Australia, man?
Yeah, so they're not quite like I don't ride any to school or anything like that, but definitely if you go out like probably not even a couple hours north or south or inland. You definitely see them hopping around and out and about in the countryside for sure. Yeah.
Did you say you can ride them to school?
I was just joking around, but
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I was
yeah,
about to say that'd
yeah,
be crazy.
yeah. I was saying like they're not quite around like at our front doorsteps. Although like if you are like maybe living in a house like I don't know hour or so away inland or up or down wherever, I'm sure they'd be at your front doorstep trying to nick some food or something.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious. No, I was always curious about that because, like I said, I always see it on the internet, but I've just never been there. So just curious. I had
yeah,
to ask you about
for
that.
sure.
And with Australia in general, what's maybe some cool places to check out there?
Yeah, so obviously Perth, you got I just love the beaches, man. Like I just like the weather. It's mainly the reason I enjoy this place, and there's most of the people here are pretty chill. So if you're looking, obviously like Sydney Opera House and stuff, like I don't know, maybe that's a touristy thing for some people who might want to come. Or in Perth, I just believe WA's has got some of the nicest beaches in the world, and that's what I kind of love, just to cool down and relax for a little bit and just enjoy the beach for a little bit just to cool down. So that's what I enjoy about Perth, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah, very nice, man. And what's maybe some cool places to eat down there?
yeah, cool. So at the moment there's a lot of new restaurants coming through and stuff. I just kind of like my average little just like corner low key kind of cafes at the moment. Just getting a coffee and a little something to eat. I don't know like too many names or anything, but they got a few fancy places down here, and I was kind of like my low key little joints.
Nice, nice. Now, when you were training, your very first training session, were you able to remember any of that and walk us through, if you can, what that first training session was like?
Like as a kid, like my first training session then.
Yep, yep. First
Yeah,
one as a
so
kid.
sure. So like I remember obviously like my mum and stuff was doing the fitness classes like prior to like first joining and stuff. And then I had a friend that was actually like well, a family friend that was in the gym and around that a little bit before us. So they kind of took me in a little bit and kind of like as you do, like doing the warm up and stuff next to your friend and kind of like getting introduced to it that way. I remember just yeah, as I said earlier, just falling in love with it straight away. Just wanting to be the best I could, and so yeah, I really enjoyed the session. Obviously, like as I got older and stuff, like I found that drive to compete competitively. But yeah, I fell in love with it straight away.
That's awesome. Now, when it just comes to like fighting in general, for someone that's maybe never fought before, what's that feeling like to just walk in the cage there for the first time? Staring down your opponent. Like, talk to us about that, man.
Yes, my first fight, like I did try to get some fights as a younger dude, like some Muay Thai fights and stuff like that. But I keep getting like pullouts and etc. So my first fight was like a pretty big one. It was at like this HBF stadium, like 3,500 people or so. Like it was a lot of eyes on me for my first fight, but I felt like I handled the pressure well, and like the fight itself felt really good just to walk out, get a bit of cheering behind me, and put on a good show. It
Yeah,
felt very cool.
yeah, yeah. No, very nice. Now, when it comes to you being on the amateur scene, do you have to deal with like selling all the tickets and stuff too? And if so, like, how is that? When it comes to just fighting and having to deal with that?
Yeah, so I'm happy that I don't have to worry about it too much. Like I do get a bit of commission from ticket sales and stuff, so I do encourage people who come down to support me to like use my code and stuff like that, so I can get like a little bit of money, which covers basically just not really much, but a bit of my costs for training and recovery and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't have to worry about it too much, but I definitely get a little bit of commission for that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. Now, obviously, you mentioned a bunch of beasts that you're training with in the gym, and
Yeah.
with that being said, what's maybe the best advice you got so far in your fighting career?
Yeah, so probably just to like uh I'm at the moment I'm trying to convert on like what I do in the training room to like actually what you do in fights. Like it's quite different. Like sometimes in fights you might like just go back to like your natural roots and kind of like slow down, or maybe not like get so creative and stick to kind of like just like strict kind of like random like kind of techniques that you just know off by heart. So I'm trying to get more experimental, use my feints a little bit more, and just kind of just open up my arsenal and variety of strikes and attacks and angles and things like that. So I'd say that's probably my big thing at the moment. Just expanding, man. So nothing in particular. Just getting better as an individual, and yeah, getting better as a mixed martial artist.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And obviously, you're a growing prospect when it comes to you being in the fight scene. But outside the cage, man, what do you like to do when it comes to not fighting?
Yeah, so obviously fighting does take a lot of my a lot of my life up, but I do like to enjoy myself every now and then, and go meet up with my friends, or as I said earlier, just enjoy the nice sunny days at the beach and just kick back, a little bit of recovery, and I like to have some chill days as well. So obviously, like getting punched in the head like 6 days a week, it's nice just to have a cool down day and just relax. So those are a couple things that I enjoy.
Nice. Now, with you being a martial artist and only being 18 years old, and then training and fighting, when you're in like school and stuff, do your like friends happen
Yeah.
to like see that, and what do they kind of think about you and your fighting career?
Yeah, so I finished school last year, so all like my closer friends and I don't know, maybe someone who follows me on Instagram or whatever, like would have known that I do fight and stuff. So they take a part of that, and well, they won't invite me out for drinks or whatever if I'm in fighting camp or stuff like that. So they're all very supportive and know I can fight. So they're nice about that, and very supportive.
Yeah, yeah, very cool, man. And one thing I always like to ask every fighter that I bring on the show is I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching
Yep,
for 6 years now, training for 19
yep,
years. I just kind of love what I do, man. And with that
yeah.
being said, with all the guys that I have in my gym, what advice would you give to them to keep coming in the gym and to keep on getting better and better every single day?
Yeah, so a big thing for I found for some people, including myself, like at some times, are just focusing on like something, like not just going into the gym and just getting by the sessions and just kind of going with the flow. Like you won't improve as fast, but I found actually like focusing on something and trying to level up that aspect of MMA or whatever skill you're trying to develop definitely makes you more like interested and intrigued to keep showing up and keep leveling up that certain aspect. So yeah, I just say try to focus on something small and just go stage by stage. You can't just focus, oh, I'm just gonna get better at MMA, like it's quite hard to do and it's gonna be a very long process. So I'd say focus on, oh, like, I really want to set up my left kick, or I really want to get better at such and such, just focus on specific things, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, very nice. And one other thing I was really curious about too, Raul Rosas is currently in the UFC. He's around your age. What do you kind of
Yep.
think of him?
Yeah, so I was a little bit jealous when he got signed to the UFC at
Right.
17 or 18 or so, because I could only fight MMA till I was 18 or so, and obviously like having those pullouts and like Muay Thai and stuff earlier in my career, like I don't know, I would have liked to have more fights under my belt as of right now, but I think it's a good prospect. I think it's decent, and I love to you know train or just roll around with him.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's
but
definitely a beast.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, 100%, man. He's definitely a beast. And with you mentioning, he's also kind of in your weight class as well too. Are you looking to maybe stay at 135, or maybe as you grow and get bigger, maybe you kind of jump up, or maybe even down in a weight class in the future?
yeah. So I want to see as my body fills out. Like I'm only 18 years old. Like my parents aren't too tall, so I don't know how much more I am gonna grow. But if I do fill out a little bit more, if I do stay the same size, I might drop down, or I might beef up a couple more kilos and stay at like a decent bantamweight size.
Very nice. Now, when it comes to the gym too, do you like to do any sort of weight training as well too?
Yeah, yeah. So I do like my weights. I do strength and conditioning with one of my coaches from the gym on a Monday and Wednesday. She's excellent. She knows what she's doing, and she takes care of me and some of the boys down there and get us strong and fit and like at a very like precise workout dedicated to our fights. So she knows what she's doing, and yeah,
Yeah, very
she
nice,
takes care
man.
of
And
us.
it's been awesome, man, talking to you. It's crazy, it's 10 o'clock for me. I think it's like Sunday for you. It's kind of wild. That
Yeah,
just kind of works.
yeah. I
So,
do get
with
that
that
mixed
being
up a
said,
little
man,
bit.
I
So
appreciate.
yeah.
Was that?
Sorry, no, you keep going. My bad.
No, I was just saying, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been nice talking to you. And with that being said, what's maybe
Yeah.
a final message out there for the fans that are going to be watching this video?
Yeah, so tune in, listen to my journey and stuff as I rise through the ranks. you guys are going to be hearing a lot of my name in the future for sure. And yeah, follow the journey. It's going to be a good one for sure.
Yeah, no, we're definitely looking forward to this journey, man. Like I said, I'm definitely appreciative that I got you now in your amateur scene because I definitely think you have a lot of potential, and
Yeah.
hopefully some more people in America get some more eyes on you, man. And we're looking forward to your growth. And thank you so much for taking the time.
That's easy, man. Yeah, thank you very much. One more thing I
Yeah,
gotta
man.
say is I wouldn't be here without my coaches and stuff. So just wanna give them a little shout out, all the boys. They know who they are, but yeah, I wouldn't my skills and I wouldn't be here right now without them. So just say a little thanks to them.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, man, thank you so much for taking the time. We're looking
Yep.
forward to your career because I think, like I said, you have a bright future. And thank you
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Thank you very much, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, man, you as well. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. See you
All
later.
right, man. Take care.